AI is, can look at it as human beings, we are forgiving as a customer,
Yep.
But AI agents, they're not gonna forgive you. If you have an issue with your system, you're done,
Hey, Hassan, do you have a good take on APIs?
Oh, yes. So in general, APIs are the language of communication, of machines. So even us as human beings, us talking to each other, you can look at it as some sort of an API in itself for us to interact. So it's the same way also for machines to interact with each other, they use APIs. Honestly, I look at it, APIs are themselves are like an art. It's not just you design the API and then that's it. It has to be developer friendly. It has to be consistent. It has to be elegant, So to me, it's an art.
Someone told me you had a little take on AI and maybe MCP. I
Oh.
want to hear about it. Tell us.
Oh, definitely. That's the hot subject of the moment, right? So I think MCP is being looked at, or maybe that would be my personal opinion, I'll be honest, is that it looks like the solution to everything. But in reality, it is not. Because MCP is kind of the API for agents, for agents to talk to each other.
Yeah, I would differ a bit and
Yeah.
maybe mention that A2A is going to be something, agent to agent. But yes,
Exactly.
maybe MCPs for agent to tools.
To tools.
Yeah.
Exactly. However, here is that when you hear MCP is going to replace the APIs. Well, actually, MCP is just a conduit to your backend system because, as you mentioned, it's about the tools, right?
Absolutely.
It's kind of a tool, registry or repository. But when we are saying, I can hear people saying MCP is insecure. Well, MCP was not designed to be that because your API is the one who should be secure. Oh, MCP, maybe there is consistency, etc. But it's not the MCP who is supposed to be that. It's your APIs, it's your backends, So I'm feeling like it's being looked at as the way it's gonna solve every company's design issues or problems, but no, maybe, to be honest, it may have a risk of even adding more because AI can look at it as human beings, we are forgiving as a customer,
Yep.
But AI agents, they're not gonna forgive you. If you have an issue with your system, you're done,
For sure. Yeah, I think there's a lot of work there. And security, authorization, authentication, these are the things that are really hot
Exactly.
these days. Yeah. How does it scale at enterprise scale? You can use it on a desktop, but how will it scale when we're talking about complex systems? That I think is something overlooked.
Absolutely. For instance, right now I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, from API perspective, we have open APIs, correct?
Yeah.
However, I'm not seeing anything that, okay, how can I extend now? We need maybe to extend open APIs to MCPs. That may be something we can look at,
Yep.
That would be maybe one way. However, as I mentioned, in my opinion, it's not the one who's going to solve the authorization and security issues. That's up to the APIs. And also, to give to the community, also it's due. There are also good, right now, initiatives to fix some of these issues. For instance, there is currently a proposed RFC for OAuth, an extension to OAuth, for particularly AI agents, to identify AI agent as an actor on behalf of a human being. So also, but is MCP going to be the one to solve that? I don't think so, but it's just going to be part of the solution.
True. Yeah, I'm also looking at the next step when talking between agents. Inter-agent communication, that's going to be also a big one. And MCP doesn't really deal with, I would say, longer-term conversations with maybe asynchronous processing, these things. So I'm curious to see what will happen in this space.
Definitely, it's that part is also. It's an interesting take where A2A is gonna go because where we can see is technology we have this thing where we always go back full circle.
Oh, yeah.
Now look at A2A. I immediately remembered Corba, remote procedure
true.
calls, and then came HTTP and the API. So I'm like, okay, now we have A2A. So now I have an agent maybe developed in .NET on semantic kernel for Microsoft, and another one developed on JavaScript or TypeScript on LangChain or something. Okay,
Yep.
how can I get these work together? And probably we're gonna hit maybe same issues like we had earlier with programs, because eventually
Yes.
AI are just programs.
They are. Yep. They just speak an unstructured language. That's the challenge there, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
It's an exciting time to be a developer, really.
Yeah, give me an idea of how fun it is to work with APIs for you. I mean, what APIs that give you that pleasure to work with?
So I'm a bit biased because as being a publisher of APIs, I mean, I spend an enormous amount of time working on our APIs and making sure they're available and accessible really to our developer community. So I would say 90% of my work with APIs is based on my work with this, which is making sure these public APIs are available. The rest is more exploring, building cool demos, integrating generally with third-party technologies. I had fun with GitHub, with Mistral AI, and a few others. So it's always interesting to explore the different takes, the different approaches that these software companies take. But yeah, most of my work is really publishing. What about you?
Yes, personally, I love that the composition of APIs. When not just one API, when you have 4 or 5 APIs that actually coming from different companies, as you mentioned, coming from different publishers,
Yep.
but then you can combine them together to do something real sophisticated. And as also now we have AIs, definitely that's the next frontier for such composition.
Like you mentioned, we are artists, so we are painting with a canvas made of multiple APIs. So yeah, that's what we do. Yeah.